Well, new tonight, a photography studio in Turkey Creek has closed its doors for good. The Little Nest franchise closed on May 31st unexpectedly. This left close to 100 families out of hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of picture sessions for their children. Now, tonight we talked to some of those families who are left wondering if they'll get their money back, and management from Little Nest who says they're just trying to do what's right.
As new parents, you can't waste $1,000 on something you won't get.
You can see he's not very excited.
Yeah, he's not excited about it either.
Kevin and Lauren Davidson are one of close to 100 families wondering if they'll get their money back after the Little Nest photography franchise in Turkey Creek closed down on May 31st.
You get an email that they have gone under and they've decided to just close business and shut everything down, and we're left with a 2-month-old and 10 months left of photos to try to get.
Families who prepaid for the heirloom picture package were promised 50 digital images of their child as they grow up.
It's really frustrating.
Now, customers like Josh and Natalie are left without pictures and without money.
They didn't give much thought to us because we are 2 weeks away from having our first child.
We talked to management about the situation at Turkey Creek's franchise, and they say the CEO informed them every Little Nest was closing, and if you want to remain open, you won't receive franchise support. Cynthia Pryor, who was the studio manager at the Little Nest, says her team had 5 days to pack up, and they've tried to call everybody personally about what happened. Meanwhile, some unhappy customers are looking to take the legal route.
We're not opposed to join forces.
But if you look at the contract agreement for the specific package they purchased, it clearly states no refunds are given. The CEO released a statement saying, in part, the obligation on fulfilling the membership lies with the franchisee, and we are working with the owner to find a solution to these membership and session obligations. And right now, employees with Little Nest have offered 2 upcoming sessions with the heirloom customers. And since they have no support from the company anymore, the plan is to pay for it out of pocket so they can make things right.